Close your eyes and picture this scene. You are a 13-year-old boy. You lie on a soft silk mattress. The only light in the room comes from a single, flickering oil lamp. The sweet smell of rose water still clings to your skin from your evening bath. The great palace around you is utterly silent, but this is not a peaceful quiet. This silence feels heavy. It presses down on you like the air just before a storm breaks. Then, you hear it. The sound of heavy footsteps in the long corridor outside. This is not the soft shuffle of a servant. This is the slow, deliberate walk of palace guards. Their boots echo on the stone floor. They are coming for you. In this world inside these walls, a summons in the middle of the night only means one thing. Your punishment will be severe. They will use your body in ways that will make you beg for death. And then, they will deny you that simple mercy. By the time the sun rises, you could be locked in chains deep below the palace. Your screams will echo in rooms built to swallow all sound. Men will take turns breaking every part of you that was once considered beautiful or pleasurable. And you should know this was seen as the gentle option. What I am describing to you is not a story from a book. This really happened to real boys in the Ottoman Empire. Their own names were erased from history books. But their pain was written down by diplomats and visitors who saw it with their own eyes. One Venetian ambassador wrote a letter home. In it, he told of terrible screams coming from under the palace. The cries went on without stopping for 3 days and 3 nights. He never learned the name of the person making those sounds. But he did know this just hours before. The person had been someone the Sultan loved. Think about that. Just hours. A moment ago you were certain of your place. You were one of the Sultan's chosen. A beautiful boy dressed in fine silks. You ate the rarest foods from across the empire. You were trained in arts and manners, all to please the most powerful man in your world. Your youth was your value. Your beauty was your shield. Your willing submission kept you safe. Now in an instant, those very same things have become your curse. Your beauty marks you for a different fate. Your submission shows them you will not fight. The gods enter your chamber without a word. They do not speak to you. One of them simply makes a sharp gesture with his hand. The meaning is clear: get up. They offer no explanation. There is no chance to say goodbye to the life you knew. You are led out of your room and into the corridors. You are taken down passages you have never walked before. You pass locked doors and staircases hidden in shadow. You go deeper and deeper into the secret heart of the palace, a place where screams are designed to fade away, never reaching the Sultan's private rooms. But first, they must be sure you are ready. They need to test if you are truly broken enough for what happens next. This test comes sooner than you could ever expect. Halfway down a long, dark corridor, the guards stop. One of them turns to you. From his belt he pulls a small, sharp knife. He holds the cold blade to the skin of your throat. He is not going to kill you. Not yet. This is a test. He is watching your eyes. He wants to see what you will do. Do you beg for your life? Do you try to fight them? Do you stand perfectly still and submit? Your reaction in this moment decides everything. It determines which room they will take you to. It decides which specific horrors are waiting for you there. Look around as you walk. The corridors themselves tell a dark story. The walls are draped with thick silk tapestries. Why? To muffle the sound of cries. The floors are covered in the deepest, plush-esque carpets. Why? To hide stains that no water can wash away. Every 20 feet, you pass a small guard post. A eunuch stands at each one, his face like stone. His only job is to watch, to make sure that anyone who enters this part of the palace never walks out again to tell the tale. But look closer between the guard posts. The decorations on the walls are not random. You see small metal plaques. They are marked with strange symbols. Each symbol shows what kind of punishment room lies behind the nearest door. One symbol for shame, another for pain, another for forgetting. Finally, your small group stops. You stand before a door made of strong, heavy wood, reinforced with iron bands. One guard pulls a key from his pocket. It looks different from all other palace keys. It is heavier. It looks older. The metal is stained a dark color you do not want to think about. The key turns in the lock with a loud, metallic click. The door swings open. But this is not a dungeon. You are not pushed into a dark, wet cell. Instead, you see a small room. It is richly furnished. There is a carpet, a low table, and a single, narrow bed. The window has bars across it. This room is not meant to hurt your body at first. It is designed to look almost like a peaceful place. A quiet room. This is the cage. It is a prison made to look like a sanctuary. You will be kept here until the Sultan makes his decision. He will decide if you deserve a quick death. Or he will choose something else, a process that will not kill you. That will remake you into something entirely new. And you should understand this room has been carefully designed to break your mind before they ever lay a hand on you. The heavy door slams shut behind you. The sound is final. It makes your bones feel cold. You are locked in. There are no chains in here. There is no guard watching you from the corner. There's only silence, and a faint, sour smell in the air, the smell of fear left behind by the room's last occupant. At first, the room seems plain, but its secrets reveal themselves slowly, like a bad dream you have while awake. Look at the silk cushions on the floor. See those dark patches? They are stains that no soap can remove. Look at the wooden frame of the bed. Look closely. You can see deep scratches carved into the wood. They are the marks of fingernails, boys who clawed at anything they could reach in their terror. Now look down at the beautiful carpet. There, near the center, are several small burn marks. They are the places where hot coals were rocked during questioning. This damage is not an accident. It is deliberate. These marks are left here to show you, very clearly, what happened to the boys who were in this room before you. The room itself is trying to tell you a story of pain. Then you see the window. Its placement reveals another calculated cruelty. The window is positioned so you have a perfect view. You can see directly into the Sultan's private gardens. You can see the sunlight. You can see the fountains and the flowers. And you can see the Sultan's new favorites walking there, laughing, enjoying the warmth you will never feel on your skin again. Look further, past the garden wall. You can just see the edge of the palace cemetery. That is where they bury the bodies in unmarked graves. Many of those graves hold the remains of boys who never left this room alive. So you see, the window is not there to give you light or air. It is there to show you exactly what you have lost forever. It shows you the life that is now out of your reach. But the real torture begins with something that feels like mercy. On your second day in the cage, a small slot opens in the door. A servant's hand slides through. He leaves a single piece of paper on the floor, then the slot closes. It is a letter. The letter appears to be from the Sultan himself. The handwriting looks like his. It is sealed with his personal mark. With trembling hands, you break the seal and read. The words say he is sorry. They say he has made a terrible mistake. He writes that he wants to see you again. He says your punishment is over. For one glorious moment, hope floods your heart. It feels like a sweet poison rushing through your veins. You are going to be saved. You are going back to your old life. But then you look closer. You notice small details that are wrong. The ink on the paper looks too fresh. It hasn't had time to dry properly. The paper itself smells odd, not like the fine paper from the Sultan's own desk. And the wax seal, if you look very closely, you see a tiny flaw in the stamp. The real Sultan's seal is perfect. This is not mercy. This is the first stage of a psychological game. It is designed to lift your hopes high into the sky, so that when they drop you, you will fall further and break more completely. They want you to hope, because hope makes the breaking easier. The false letter trick was perfected over hundreds of years. Ottoman torturers learned a dark truth: a boy who still believes in rescue will break faster than a boy who has given up all hope. In their hands, hope itself became a weapon, a blade as sharp as any knife, and they used it with perfect precision. Time passes. But here, it does not flow like a river. It's heavy and still, like water in a stagnant pond. The rhythm of palace life fades away, replaced by a new rhythm of your own making. The faint music from distant halls no longer reaches you. The sound of laughter from the Sultan's private rooms is gone. Now the only sound in your world is your own ragged breathing as you pace. 3 steps to the wall. Turned. 3 steps back. Your feet wear a path into the beautiful, terrible carpet. Your meals arrive in silence through the slot in the door. But the food is different now. Plain white rice. A cup of water. Sometimes a single piece of dry, dark bread. The rich foods that once kept you healthy and beautiful, the sweet fruits. The tender meats, the delicate pastries are gone. You do not receive them anymore. They want you weak, but not for the reason you might think. Yes, physical weakness makes escape impossible, but that is not their true goal. Their real aim is to make you mentally weak. A hungry mind becomes suggestible. A desperate mind will believe almost anything if it promises the suffering will stop. Each day of hunger rewrites your thoughts. Your priorities begin to change without you even realizing it. Simple survival becomes more important than pride, more important than dignity, more important than the person you used to be. And in this place, survival depends on one thing only: pleasing the men who hold the key. The false letter was just the beginning. The hope it created has curdled inside you, turning into a sour kind of fear. Now, the silence itself becomes a tool. Sometimes you hear footsteps stop outside your door. Your heart leaps. You hold your breath. Is this it? Is someone coming? But then, after an eternity of waiting, the footsteps simply walk away. No one enters. No one speaks. This happens again and again. This is another test. They are teaching your body to react with hope, and then they are teaching it to feel the crash of disappointment. They are training you like an animal. Then they attack your memory. One morning you find a single perfect red rose petal on your food tray. It is fresh and smells sweet. It is the same type of rose that grew outside your old window. The one you used to look at every morning. The scent brings back a flood of memories, safe memories, happy memories from before. For a moment, you are not in the cage. You are back in your sunny room, feeling the warmth, hearing the birds. The feeling is so strong it brings tears to your eyes. But the next day, the petal is gone. In its place on the empty tray is a dead beetle. Its black shell is crushed. The message is not subtle. The beautiful memories can be crushed just as easily. The things you love are fragile. They can be taken and replaced with something ugly and dead. This is how they fight you, not with fists, but with feelings. They find the good memories inside your mind and they poison them. Days blend into nights. You lose track of time. Was it morning when the last meal came? Or was it evening? You cannot tell. The barred window shows you the sky, but the light feels flattened, meaningless. Time is no longer a line from past to future. It is just a circle of sameness, a circle of fear, hunger, and waiting. You talk to yourself just to hear a voice. You whisper stories about your home, your mother's face, a game you played as a child. But saying the words out loud makes the memories feel thinner, like they are fading. You start to worry you will forget the sound of your own name. Then, the real test of your spirit begins. The first time you hear another boy scream, you freeze. The sound is muffled by the thick walls of silk drapes, but you can still hear it. It is a high, sharp sound of pure pain, coming from somewhere deeper in this hidden wing. It lasts for a minute, then stops abruptly. Silence returns. Uses in the new, deeper silence, shaking. Was that real? Your mind races. Who was it? What did they do to him? A horrible, traitorous thought whispers in your ear, be glad it was not you. That thought shames you. But it is also the first sign that the cage is working. It is breaking your connection to others. It is teaching you to care only about your own skin. The screams come again later. And again. Sometimes they are short. Sometimes they go on for what feels like hours. You learn to recognize different voices. One sounds very young. One sounds like he is begging in a language you don't understand. You cover your ears. You hum to block the noise. But you cannot block it out. The worst part is the silence after the scream. That silence is a question. And the question is, what did they do to make him stop? This is their plan. You are not being tortured yet, but you are living in a world built around torture. You are breathing its air. You are drinking its fear. They are letting your own imagination do the work for them. Your mind imagines horrors far worse than anything they might actually do. And with each scream you hear, your mind's nightmare becomes more detailed, more real. You are being prepared. You are being softened. And when you are soft enough, when the hunger, the loneliness, the fear, and the poisoned memories have hollowed you out, that is when the door will open again. The door does not open with a crash. It opens with a whisper. One moment, you are staring at the wall, lost in a daydream of sunlight. The next, the lock turns with a soft, slick click. The heavy wooden door swings inward silently. No guard shouts at you. No one grabs you. A eunuch stands in the doorway. His face is smooth, impassive, like a mask made of wax. He does not look at your eyes. He looks at a spot on the wall just above your head. "Stand," he says. His voice is flat. It holds no anger, no pity, no feeling at all. This calm is more frightening than violence. Your heart hammers against your ribs, but your body obeys. You push yourself up from the floor. Your legs are shaky from days of little food and no movement. The eunuch steps aside and gestures with one thin hand. Come out. You step into the corridor. The air outside the cage feels different, cooler, smelling of stone and old incense. 2 palace guards are waiting there. They are larger than the eunuch, solid and silent in their uniforms. They fall into step behind you. The eunuch leads the way. You are walking again, deeper this time. The carpets here are even thicker. The silk on the walls is a darker color, a deep blood minus red. The little symbol plaques between the guard posts are more frequent now. The symbols look more complex, more ominous. You realize you are holding your breath. You force yourself to breathe. The eunuch stops before a door that is not wood but dark, heavy iron. He does not have a key. Instead, he knocks on the iron in a specific pattern. Tap. Tap minus tap. Tap. A small slot slides open at eye level. An unseen pair of eyes looks out, studies you, then looks at the eunuch. The slot closes. You hear the sound of several heavy bolts being drawn back. The iron door groans as it opens inward. The room beyond is not a cell. It looks like a small, clean study. There is a desk, a single chair, a shelf with a few scrolls. A man sits behind the desk. He is not a guard. He is dressed in fine dark robes. He is writing something. He does not look up when you enter. This ordinary scene is the most terrifying thing you have seen yet. Sit, the man says, still writing. His voice is educated, mild. You sit in the chair opposite the desk. The guards remain by the door, blocking it. The eunuch is gone. The man finishes his writing. He puts his pen down. He looks at you. His eyes are intelligent, curious. He looks at you the way a scholar might look at a rare insect. You have been alone with your thoughts, he says. It is not a question. That can be difficult. The mind plays tricks. It tells you stories. It gives you hope. He says the word hope like it is a dirty word, a childish thing. My job, he continues, folding his hands on the desk, is to help you see the truth. The truth is a gift. It will set you free from these confusing thoughts. He smiles a little. It is a cold, thin smile. Let us start with a simple truth. You are here because you failed. You disappointed a great man. That failure has a price. Do you understand? You nod because you cannot make your voice work. Good, he says. The price is your old life. That boy is gone. The one who ate sweets and wore silk. He is dead. You must mourn him and let him go. The longer you cling to his ghost, the more it will hurt. He leans forward slightly. The second truth is this: you have a choice. But it is not the choice you think. You do not get to choose between pain and no pain. That choice is gone. He pauses, letting the words sink in. Your choice is this: what kind of pain will it be? Will it be pointless, chaotic pain that destroys you? Or will it be purposeful pain? Pain that teaches you, that remakes you into something useful? Pain that has an end. He leans back. The first kind leads only to the cemetery. The second kind can lead you back to the light. Not as you were, but as something new. Something that can survive. This is the offer. This is the bargain. He is not threatening you yet. He is offering you a path. A terrible, dark path. But a path nonetheless. Think of it as an education, he says, his voice almost kind. All education involves some hardship. This is no different. We are going to teach you new ways to see the world, new ways to see yourself. It will be difficult, but it is for the best. He stands up. He walks around the desk and stands near you. He does not touch you. Your first lesson begins now. It is a lesson in trust. You must learn to trust that we know what is best for you, even when you do not understand. He nods to the guards. One guard steps forward. In his hands is a simple wooden bowl. It is filled with clear water. The other guard holds a plain white cloth. You will be cleansed, the man in robes says. The old scents, the oils, the perfumes, they are memories of your old life. We will wash them away. It is a symbol, a fresh start. The guard with the bowl places it on the desk. The guard with the cloth dips it in the water. He approaches you. This is not a bath. This is a ritual. The guard's touch is not gentle, but it is not brutal either. He wipes the damp cloth over your face, your neck, your hands. The water is cool. It smells of nothing. No roses, no spices, just nothing. As the cloth passes over your skin, the man in robes speaks softly. You see, It is not so bad. We are not monsters. We are guides. We are helping you shed a skin that no longer fits. The washing is quick, efficient. When it is done, you feel strangely exposed. Your skin smells blank. A part of your identity, a small sensory part, has been erased. Good. The man says. Now, the final part of today's lesson. A practical demonstration. He walks back to his desk and sits down. He pulls a small, ornate box from a drawer. He opens it. Inside, on a bed of velvet, are two small, dark pellets. They look like seeds or hard sweets. This is a medicine, he explains. It will help you. It will calm the fear in your heart. It will quiet the noisy, hopeful thoughts in your head. It will help you accept the truth. He takes one pellet and holds it between his thumb and finger. You have a choice. You can take it willingly. You can show us that you are ready to begin your education, that you are ready to trust our guidance. He places the pellet on the desk in front of you. Or we can help you take it. The lesson will be the same, but the method will be less dignified. The choice is yours. It is always your choice. He smiles again. The cold, thin smile. Take your time. Think. You look at the tiny dark pellet. You look at the man's empty eyes. You look at the impassive guards by the door. This is not a choice about medicine. This is a choice about surrender. Taking it willingly means admitting he is right. It means saying yes to his education. Refusing it means force. It means violence. And then taking it anyway. Your hand trembles as you reach out. Your fingers hover over the pellet. The man watches, utterly still. This is the breaking point. Not with screams, not with trains, not with chains. With a quiet, terrible decision made in a clean, quiet room. You pick up the pellet. It feels hard and insignificant in your fingers. The man's smile widens, just a fraction. It does not reach his eyes. A wise first step, he says. He pushes a cup of water toward you. You put the pellet in your mouth. It tastes bitter, like crushed earth and old leaves. You swallow it with a gulp of water. Excellent, the man says. He closes the ornate box. The lesson is over for today. You will be taken back to your room. You will feel calm soon. You will sleep. And when you wake, you will be ready to learn more. The gods led you back to the iron door, back down the red corridor, back to the cage. The door closes behind you with the same final thud. You sit on the floor waiting. After a while, a deep, heavy calm begins to spread through your limbs. Your frantic thoughts slow down. The sharp edge of your fear becomes soft and blurry. You did not fight. You chose. You took the first step down their path yourself. And as the artificial calm pulls you under, the most terrifying thought of all slips into your mind. That was easy. You wake up. But it is not a normal awakening. The heavy, chemical calm has faded, leaving behind a hollow, woolly silence inside your head. Your thoughts move slowly as if pushing through thick mud. The sharp terror of the cage is gone, replaced by a dull, weary ache. You feel empty, cleaned out. This, you realize, is the point. They did not just calm you. They created a blank space inside you. A space where new things can be written. The man in the dark robes visits again the next day. He does not come to the cage. You are brought to the same iron-ministered room. You look better, he says, his voice carrying a tone of mild approval. The medicine helps, does it not? It quit and that's the store. You nod. It is easier to nod. Arguing feels like too much work. Good, he says. Today, we talk about stories. Every boy here has a story. The story of how he failed. Would you like to hear another boy's story? It might help you understand your own. He does not wait for your answer. He begins to speak. He tells you about a boy beautiful and proud who grew jealous of a new favorite. This boy, he says, spoke a bitter word against the Sultan's new pet. A servant overheard. The word reached the wrong ears. He thought his beauty made him untouchable. The man says, shaking his head slightly, as if disappointed by a student's simple mistake. He was wrong. His beauty made him a target. His pride made him a lesson. He pauses, letting you imagine the rest. You see the boy in your mind. You see him take him. You see a version of your own fear played out on another's face. But his story has a better ending, the man continues, his eyes watching you closely. He learned. He accepted his lesson. He let go of his pride. And now, he serves in a new way. He is useful. He is at peace. The message is clear, your story can have a better ending too. If you learn, if you accept, this is how they twist the truth. They take your fear, the fear of pain, the fear of death, and they reshape it. They turn it into a narrative of your own failure in their benevolent correction. They are not punishing you out of cruelty. They are teaching you out of necessity. They are saving you from your worst self. Days fall into a new pattern. The silent, empty hours in the cage are now broken by these sessions in the quiet room. The man who you now think of as the instructor talks. He asks simple questions. He praises you for compliant answers. He gently corrects mistaken thoughts. Do you think the Sultan is cruel? He might ask. If you say yes, he sighs patiently. Is the rain cruel for falling? Is the winter cruel for being cold? The Sultan is a force of nature. His actions are not about cruelty or kindness. They are about order. You broke the order. Now balance must be restored. Do you see? He reframes the world. Your suffering is not an act of violence, it is a law of physics. A necessary reaction. To resist is not to be brave, it is to be ignorant. Like a child shaking its fist at the sky for raining. The psychological walls of your prison are being rebuilt, stone by stone, inside your own mind. The iron bars are now made of his logic. Then, they introduce you to the others. One day, you are not taken to the quiet room. You are led to a larger chamber. The air here is warm and humid, smelling of steam and herbs. It is a bathish, but not like the luxurious one you remember. This one is plain, functional. And you are not alone. 3 other boys are there. They are in various stages of washing. They do not look at you. Their eyes are fixed on the tiled floor. Their movements are slow, deliberate. You recognize the hollow look in their eyes. You have seen it in the reflection of your water cup. They are on the medicine too. A eunuch attendant points to a stone bench. Sit. Wait your turn. Use it. You watch. One boy, slender with faded marks on his shoulders, stands perfectly still as an attendant pours warm water over his head. Another, younger, is scrubbing his own arms slowly, as if in a trance. There is no conversation. Only the sound of water and breath. This is a demonstration. You are being shown what acceptance looks like. These boys are not fighting. They are existing. They are complying. They are the better endings. But then you see the details. The faded marks on the first boy's shoulders are not birthmarks. They are old scars arranged in a deliberate pattern. The younger boy's wrists are thin to thin, and circled with faint, shadowy bruises that speak of recent binds. Your heart, which had slowed to a dull thud, begins to beat faster. The medicine's fog lifts for a second, pierced by a needle of pure fear. These boys are not at peace. They are broken. They are living warnings. The attendant calls you to the water. The bath is not for pleasure or cleanliness. It is another ritual. The rough cloth scours your skin. The plain herbal soap smells sharp, erasing any last trace of your past self. You are being made uniform. You are being made like them. When you are returned to the cage, you are given new clothes. Not silk. Simple, undyed linen. It is coarse against your scrubbed skin. The change is profound. The clothes scream your new status. You are no longer a favorite. You are something else. A student. A patient. A project. A instructor's next lesson focuses on gratitude. You must learn to see the opportunity here, he explains in your next session. Many boys never get a second chance. Their failure ends in the cemetery. You are being given a gift, a chance to be remade, to be useful. This is a sign of great value. The Sultan does not waste time on worthless things. He teaches you to say the words, I am grateful for this chance to learn. At first, you mouth them silently. They taste like ash. Say it aloud, he insists, his voice calm but firm. I am grateful for this chance to learn, you whisper. Again, with conviction. I am grateful for this chance to learn. Each time you say it, the words carve a tiny groove in your mind. The lie repeated begins to wear a path towards something that feels almost like truth. If you say you are grateful, perhaps the pain will be less. Perhaps the lesson will end sooner. The words become a spell, a protective chant. This is the unraveling. It is not a single moment of screaming breakage. It is a slow, steady undoing. They are unpicking the threads of your old identity, your pride, your fear, your sense of injustice, and dropping them to the floor. One by one, they are replacing them with new threads: obedience, acceptance, gratitude. They are weaving a new you, a simpler you, on the loom of your own mind. And the most dangerous part is this part of you is starting to prefer it. The fog of the medicine is easier than the sharp agony of fear. The instructor's calm logic is easier than the chaotic terror of the unknown. Saying the words of gratitude is easier than holding on to a hope that only leads to crushing disappointment. The fight is leaking out of you, replaced by a weary, numb compliance. You're learning the first and most important lesson. It is easier to go along. The lessons change. The quiet talks with the instructor are no longer enough. You've learned to say the words. You have learned the new logic. Now they must test if you truly believe it. They must see if the new threads they have woven will hold under weight. The test comes from the outside world. The world you thought was gone forever. The instructor's face is graver than usual. He holds a small, folded piece of common paper, not fine palace parchment. He places it carefully on the desk between you. A situation has arisen, he says, his voice low. It concerns your family, your younger brother. Your blood, which has flowed so sluggishly for days, turns to ice. You stare at him. You've had locked thoughts of your family away in a deep, dark corner of your mind. To think of them was to invite an agony no medicine could dull. He is a spirited boy, we hear, the instructor continues, tapping the paper. He admires his older brother. He has been asking questions in the market. Questions about the palace. About you. He lets the words hang in the air. The threat is not stated, it is woven into the very silence. A common boy asking questions about a vanished favorite is not just curious. He is a spark neared right ender. This is a danger, the instructor says softly. To him, to your parents, to the order we maintain. Noise attracts attention. Attention brings consequences. He slides the paper toward you. You will write a letter. You will tell your brother you are well. You are studying. You are honored to serve the Sultan in a new private capacity. You will tell him to be proud, to be quiet, and to ask no more questions. You will tell him his loyalty to the Sultan is the only thing that can keep your family safe. He places a pen beside the paper. Your words. Your hand. This is your responsibility now. Your compliance is their protection. Your misstep is their doom. This is the leash. Not of silk, but of blood. They have found the one chain that can truly bind you from the inside. You had begun to accept your own suffering, but the thought of your brother with his bright, curious eyes being dragged into this darkness, this is a different kind of breaking. Your hand shakes as you pick up the pen. The words you are forced to write are poison disguised as honey. Every lie you ink onto the paper, I am happy, I am honored. Do not worry for me, feels like a betrayal. You are selling him the story they have sold you. You are pulling him into the fog. When you finish, the instructor takes the lesson. He reads it slowly, nods. Good. A first step in bearing responsibility. It is not thank you. This is not a favor, it is a duty you have performed. Remember this lesson, he says, his eyes locking onto yours. Your will is no longer your own. Your actions have consequences for others. Every thought of resistance, every flash of your old pride, is not just your risk. It is theirs. You are learning to be considerate. The word considerate hangs in the air, a grotesque parody of its meaning. You are learning that your love for your family can be used as a whip, and you have just helped fashion the handle. The next stage is physical. The psychological leash needs a physical symbol. You are taken to a new room, small and very warm. The air smells of clean metal and a strange, sweet incense. A different specialist is here. An older man with steady, meticulous hands. He is not a god or an instructor. He is an artisan. On a tray beside him are needles, inks, and small, sharp tools. All who are remade receive a mark. The instructor says, standing by the door. It is a sign of transition, an end to the confusion of the old life. It is a gift of clarity. You are told to remove the plain linen shirt. You obey. The air is hot on your skin. The artisan guides you to lie face down on a leather-padded bench. His touch is clinical, impersonal. He cleans a spot on the back of your left shoulder with a cold, stinging liquid. The mark signifies your new purpose. The instructor's voice explains from behind you. It tells the initiated that you have passed through the fire and emerged with a use. This mark means observer. It means you are learning to see the truth, to listen, to understand without judgment. You feel the first prick of the needle. It is a sharp, insistent sting followed by a slow, burning ache as the ink is worked under your skin. It is not the brutal pain of a lash. It is a persistent, deliberate invasion. You cannot see the design. You can only feel it being carved into you. line by line. As the needle buzzes and stings, the instructor continues his quiet lecture. The pain is part of the gift. It makes the lesson permanent. The body remembers what the mind might try to forget. Years from now, you will feel this spot on your shoulder, and you will remember this day. You will remember that this was when you chose to become useful, when you accepted your duty to protect others through your own obedience. The process is slow. The pain builds a focused, fiery point on your shoulder blade. You bite your lip, tasting blood. You are not allowed to cry out. To flinch is to show the mark is not welcome. To accept the pain is to accept the meaning. This is the final anchor. They have rewritten your mind with words. They have bound your heart with the threat to your family. Now, by retching their ownership into your very skin, you are being branded not as property, but as a converted believer. The mark is not a punishment, it is, in their twisted theology, a baptism. When it is done, the artisan cleans the area again and applies a cool salve. You are helped to sit up. A mirror is brought. Over your shoulder, you see it a small, intricate symbol in dark blue ink. It looks like a stylized eye framed by a crescent. It is undeniably permanent. It is now a part of your geography. Where with the gratitude you have learned, the instructor says, there is no irony in his voice. He believes it. He expects you to believe it. You are led back to your cage, your shoulder throbbing with a dull, persistent fire. The pain is a constant reminder. Every time you move, you feel it. The mark, the leash, the lessons, they are all connected now. The physical pained eyes, the psychological knots tighter. You lie on your thin bed, staring at the barred window. The sun is setting, painting the gardens in colors of fire and gold. You no longer look at the boys walking there. You look past them to the distant wall, to the world where your brother lies. You have a new purpose. Not to be beautiful, not to be loved, but to be quiet, to observe, to obey, to wear your mark, and in doing so, keep the real world, the world of your family, safe from the darkness you now inhabit. The fight is not over, but the battlefield has moved. It is no longer about escaping pain for yourself. It is about containing the pain within these walls. You have been given a terrible, purposeful weight to carry, and in a horrific way, it makes the emptiness feel full. Time loses all meaning that has not been given to it by them. Your world is the cage, the quiet room, the bathish, the needle's sting. The lessons are no longer lessons, they are reality. The instructor's voice is not persuasion, it is truth. The throbbing mark on your shoulder is not a brand of ownership, it is a badge of purpose. You are calm. You are grateful. The medicine you are given is no longer a bitter pellet forced upon you. It is a relief you accept each morning from a small ceramic cup. It smooths the edges of the world, making the routine of your dismantling feel orderly, even sensible. Then, one day, the routine changes. You are bathed not with the harsh herbal soap, but with scented oils. Your plain linen is taken away. In its place, you are given silk. Not the brilliant, colorful silks of your old life, but a single, simple robe of deep, unadorned black. It is fine, expensive, but it speaks of shadow, not splendor. Your hair, which has grown ragged, is neatly trimmed. Your body, thin but not starved, is anointed. No one explains. You do not ask. You have learned that explanations are gifts, not rights. The instructor comes to you. He does not smile. His demeanor is one of solemn completion. The period of instruction is over, he says. You have learned it well. You have accepted the truth. You have embraced your purpose. Now, you will fulfill it. You feel a shiver, but it is not the old, wild fear. It is a chilling anticipation, like a blade being unsheathed in a ritual you have memorized. You are led from the hidden wing, not deeper into its heart, but back toward the world of light and sound. The corridors grow familiar, then grand. You hear distant music. You smell citrus-resined incense from the main courtyards. The sensation is overwhelming, like emerging from a cave into blinding sun. Every sound is too loud, every scent too sharp. You want to shrink back into the quiet, predictable darkness. You are brought to a small, elegant antechamber outside the Sultan's private audience hall. You are made to wait, standing perfectly still. Through the lattice screen of a window, you can see the court. You see new favorites, beautiful and laughing, their eyes bright with the certainty of their place. You see advisors, guards, slaves. The great machine of the palace, turning as it always has. You look at them, and you feel nothing. No jealousy, no longing, no connection. They are figures in a painting you once lived inside. You observe them as your mark says you should. You understand their fragility, their blind, stupid happiness. You see the invisible threads of power and fear that hold them up, threads they cannot see, but that you now feel wrapped around your own bones. Aid or opens. By uni gestures, you enter the audience hall. It is not a full court, but a select gathering. The Sultan is there reclining on his divan. He looks older, or perhaps you are simply seeing him with new eyes. He is not a god of pleasure, but a source of gravity, a cold sun. Beside him stand a few high officials and two of his current favorites, young, radiant boys who watch with curious, apprehensive eyes. And you see the instructor, standing respectfully to the side, his hands folded. You walk to the center of the room and kneel, your forehead touching the cool, priceless carpet. You do not do this out of love or fear of punishment. You do it because it is correct. It is your function. Rise, says the Sultan. His voice is the same. It once made your heart sing. Now, it is simply a sound that triggers a protocol in your mind. You rise, keeping your eyes lowered appropriately. Look at me, he says. You lift your gaze. You meet his eyes. There is no challenge in your look. No plea. No memory of kisses or whispered promises. Your eyes are clear, empty pools reflecting back exactly what he expects to see, a finished product. He studies you. A long, heavy silence fills the room. The other boys hold their breath. You simply wait. You are changed, the Sultan says, a statement of fact, not a question. I have been remade, your majesty, you say, your voice even calm. The words are the instructor's, but they come from your own mouth without resistance. To serve a new purpose. He nods slowly. A flicker of something passes over his face, not regret, not cruelty, satisfaction. The satisfaction of a master craftsman viewing a complex piece of work, now complete. And are you grateful, he asks. It is the final exam. You do not hesitate. The truth, as they have defined it for you, flows out. I am grateful for the clarity. I am grateful for my purpose. I am grateful for your mercy in allowing me to be useful. The words are perfect. The favorites shift uneasily. They hear the sincerity, and it terrifies them more than any scream would have. They see a boy in silk, but they are looking at a living ghost, a warning made flesh. The Sultan's gaze turns to the two favorites beside him. You see, he says to them, his tone mild. Love is a season, beauty is a flower. But purpose, he looks back at you. Purpose is eternal. Remember that. He then addresses you again. Your first duty begins tonight. You will go to the residence of Governor Ismail. You will listen. You will observe. You will remember everything. You will be my eyes where I cannot be. Do you understand your task? Perfectly, your majesty, you say, bowing your head again. There is no talk of your old life. You offer to return to it. That would be an absurdity, like asking a sword to become or again. The reunion is not a homecoming. It is as a deployment. You are dismissed. As you turn to leave, you catch the eye of one of the young favorites. His face is pale, his beautiful eyes wide with a dawning, horrified understanding. He is looking at his own possible future. You give him nothing, not a glare, not a smirk, not a nod of sympathy. You are an observer. You simply note his fear and file it away. You are led out, not back to the cage, but to a small, crowded chamber near the palace gates. It contains a chest with a few more dark robes, a writing set, and a narrow cot. It is a soldier's billet. Your new quarters. That night, a covered palanquin carries you through the sleeping city to the governor's mansion. You are shown to a quiet room adjacent to his private chamber. You are a gift, a silent companion. The governor, a man with ambitious eyes and a nervous smile, understands the message you carry without a word being spoken. He is terrified of you, of what you represent. He will speak freely in front of you precisely because he sees you as a thing, a broken vessel. He will let secrets spill, thinking they fall into a void. As you sit in the dim light, listening to the governor talk with his aides, you feel the cool weight of the silk on your skin. You feel the faint, permanent take of the mark on your shoulder. You think of your brother, safe in his bed because you are here. You think of the instructor's calm voice. You think of the Sultan's satisfied gaze. A profound, unshakable peace settles over you. The conflict is over. The boy who trembled on the silk mattress, waiting for footsteps, is gone. He died in the cage and you are what emerged. You are not happy. Happiness is for the blind. You are certain. You have your purpose. You have your gratitude. You are home.